Hey everyone, and welcome back to Woo Woo Wednesday, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of oracle cards. I'm so excited to join you this week because we have a full moon in Taurus, and this is also an eclipse season. So this is about total transformation. If you're going through massive shifts and changes, there's a reason for it, and we're going to talk about that today and what that looks like and how you can handle that in-between time, because when we're in the in-between we start to freak out. And so I'm going to help you move through this transition, because today is a really pivotal day, and then climbing up to the full moon on Friday is going to be even more expansive. This is about calling you to evolve and to break free of all the past pain and beliefs and old stories that used to limit you. Now you're stepping into a new story of worth, of abundance, of possibility. So I'm so excited to pull some cards this week and see what's in store. So if you're tuning in live, let me know. If you're here, say hello. Where are you watching from? Is this your first time? I'm gonna grab some water and my cards. Okay, hello everyone. Hey girlfriend, hey, just checking everything. Let me make sure the comments are up. Perfect, cool. Okay, so let's get this party started. I have my Shine from the Inside Oracle, and I wanna know, are you guys, let me know if this is you, are you going through a massive change right now? Are you going through a shift where you're like, yes, things are definitely crumbling in my life, things are falling away, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting, Taurus, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to that goal or that plan that I have, or that I've been working on for so long, right? And what I mean by so long is at least the last decade. We're coming to an end of a spiritual chapter and a spiritual cycle where all the lessons that were meant to be learned over the last decade are really coming into an integration period where anything that, you know, is like the old me. I talk about like the old me, right? Like anything that's like the old you that doesn't align with who you are now just really is like starting to like show up, and you can notice the stark difference in the contrast, and in that contrast, that's where you can see changes actually happen, because the old you might have responded to a trigger, you know, without even consciously thinking about it, so you just reacted versus respond. But the new you, the more evolved, more aware you, is saying like, oh, I see that, that's a pattern, that's a habit, I know me better than that, and I need to walk away, and I'm going to be more mature and more wise and maintain my peace. And that's really what I feel like we're all kind of coming to this new realization, is that inner peace is the new success, right? Can I get an amen on that? Okay, so I'm going to tune into your comments really quick before I draw some. Ashley says it's been a while since I've tuned in live. Happy to be here. Sparkle magic to you. Yes, totally. I'm stepping into my self-worth and confidence. Heck yes. Breathe. That's amazing. Hello, Kayla. Yes, so much change. Brandy, so good to see you. Amen. Yeah, literally things are changing. Haley with the goddess crown. Okay, hello Elizabeth. So speaking of goddesses, I was gonna announce live 11/11 the goddess retreat, but I have to be real, like I needed a personal day. I took time to rest, to, you know, to do literally nothing. I left my phone in the other room. I needed some healing. I needed some space, and I was really missing my dad. As you guys know, he passed this year. So I want to just start off by saying thank you for everyone who's like, where's the announcement? I need to know, when is the goddess retreat? So thank you so much for everyone who's reached out. If you're not on the wait list, then oh my goddess, it's so important. Go get on the wait list. If you're like, I don't know how to do that, just DM me the word wait list and I will help you out. And the reason why you want to get on it, not only because you're going to be the first to know about when we launch, but I just came up with this. I'm always trying to give. Oh, gifts are my love language. So I'm going to gift you an amazing goodie and an amazing bonus goodie. If you sign up for the retreat and you've been on the wait list, then you're going to get a $500 gift from me. I'm so excited. So that's why you want to get on the wait list, to be the first to know and also to get awesome, good, cool things from me, right? So go get on the wait list, DM me if you don't know how to get there, and I cannot wait. This is going to be so exciting. So I will be announcing it very, very soon. I have literally been so busy that I am coming to a time where it's like, okay, I have weeks off now during the holiday season and I can really, you know, focus on this online business. You know, it's so crazy running multiple businesses and really being shown, talk about the contrast, right? I'm being shown, and I've known this for a minute, and this is probably true for you. You've known that you need to step away from that old, safe, comfortable thing, right? Well, I'm being called to step out of the salon. There's so many signs pointing to like, you've got to focus on hosting the retreats and coaching. Like, this is where my heart is at. This is where I feel energized. And I'm a generator in human design, if you know anything about it. So I need to be doing the things that make me become alive and generate energy for you guys. So that's kind of where I'm at. Just like a personal, just story shares, like things are changing in my life. Our lease is up here and we're like, okay, it's time to move to the woods. So we've been looking for land like outside of the city. So we've just been like really asking ourselves lately, like, what do we even want? Like, what do we really want? Because 10 years ago, we wanted something totally different. And not to mention, we've achieved a lot of those things that we've then wanted. So it's so important to like really tune back in and ask, well, how have I changed? And is this still in alignment with what feels good for me? Which is why, if you guys know anything about the elevated life, we talk about the 7 or above rule. Living your life only on a 7 or above. And if you haven't heard of it, the simple answer is, or the simple you know, concept behind this is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being and 10 being amazing. We have the freedom, the power of choice, and we only choose to do things 7 or above. We get to decide. So it gives us a conscious and a feeling tool to be able to recognize, this is in alignment with what I want to be doing, or am I doing things out of guilt and obligation and people pleasing? Because that is the end of the cycle that we are going to put, we're going to close that chapter on, since we're coming to a massive change and closure. And this full moon and eclipse is like that portal, that in between where you're like, I'm stepping through, I've asked for something new, but I don't really know how to like fully go through the door, or, you know, and say yes to the opportunity and start taking that new action that aligns with what I want. So if you're in that in-between state, like, let me know. Is that you? Am I alone? I know I'm not alone. Every coaching call and tarot reading I had this week, it was like, oh, hey, we're a mirror of each other. Great, you're going through that too. Okay, cool. So it's like, we are all doing this change collectively, and it's a really beautiful process. And though, if you're here listening, then you're more aware and in tune. So you're probably like, yes, I know, like we've been working on this, right? And so I want to let you know, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I know you, and I love you, and I believe in you. So this is just a massive time to really just literally get your shit together, no big deal, and you know, say yes to those dreams that you've been planting, all the seeds that you've been planting for so long, like over this last decade, if not lifetime, right? Hey Kayla, hello from Portugal. Oh my gosh, hello sweet love. Could it have been more accurate? Oh, you guys are amazing. Okay, if you guys are ready for this reading, full moon in Taurus, partial lunar eclipse, massive portal, massive changes. Let's not freak out in the in-between. Who's ready for a reading? Let me know by saying I'm ready in the comments, and we will get this party started. Okay, so speaking of the in-between and the shift, which this is like the 3rd time it's come up in conversation, is I started working on a program for you guys last year called Shift. Like how to transition these spiritual chapters and upgrades and evolutions in your life where you're like, oh, the old is crumbling and I don't know what to do with the new yet. I'm still afraid, you know, of stepping into that because it's so unknown. So I created a program, which is so funny. I wrote the whole thing out. This is, okay, I feel like full circle. I wrote it on the way to the last goddess retreat in Colorado this April. So like on the drive to Colorado, it's like 15 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna write this entire outline in this course. And I wrote it, we put it together in Canva. It's like sitting there, and I just haven't done anything with it. And so I feel like now's the time, like gotta make room in my life to be able to fully give you all the things that I'm creating over here for you guys. But the salon, you know, so all my hair clients who are watching, I love you, I'm sorry, but you guys knew it was time, it's coming. So big changes around here, but most importantly, that means for you, more of me on here, helping you, inspiring you, and coaching you to break free of the fear and that stops you from shining your light and really taking your abilities, your talents, your natural passions, and turning them into your purpose and profit to make a difference in this world. So, so excited. Okay, ready from Dublin, Ireland. That's so exciting. Everyone from all around the globe. Gabrielle says ready as can be. You guys are so amazing. All right, I'm gonna shuffle with the intention that we all receive the message we need most at this time. Full moon, eclipse, Taurus, here we go. You guys ready for this? Let's get some sparkle on it. I love you guys. Woo, okay, I'm feeling like that. Wanted to say hello. So let's see, 2 more cards. You guys know I like to pull it in 3s. I don't know, it's like, I've always been really weird with numbers. Like I used to be so OCD and weird that I'd have to chew the same amount of times on each side. And I'm like, this has got to stop. Like this is nuts. So yeah, you know, numbers, balance, even. Oh, it's because I'm a Libra, guys. It's all that balance energy, right? Okay, so 2 more cards. Taurus, full moon. What do we need to know? Where are we going? How do we transition through the shift and the change? Oh, that's what I was telling you guys. Shift, all the things, right? Let me shift back to that. So while I'm shuffling and waiting for the next 2 cards, and give me some hearts while we're shuffling so we can get some extra sparkle magic juju in there, right? Yes, thank you. Okay, so shuffling for the last 2 cards and also telling you about the shift. So when you change, when you're in that transition period, here's my advice. This is how you don't get caught in the trap of like falling back into old patterns and triggers that are coming up to be released. This is what you do. You're gonna focus on rest. You're gonna focus on self-care. You're gonna focus on completely dropping everything you thought you were supposed to be doing. And you're gonna focus on play, because when the universe isn't guiding you with that full-blown clarity of like, hey, here's your next step, then it's meant for you to take a chill pill so that it can do its work behind the scenes and say, okay, you're asking for more, you want different things, all right, we gotta change some things. But while we're changing some things, we need you to prepare for that next level. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So as the universe isn't giving you guidance and being like, hey, here's the next step, and you're over here like, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to work on you is what you're supposed to do. So that's the trick. So the trick is to focus internally on what are the internal changes that I can shift that bring me closer to a peace, that bring me closer to joyfulness, that bring me back into the present moment, because that's ultimately all there is and what matters, right? Enlightenment is a total saturation in love and an awareness. And so the more we can bring ourselves back to that place, I really feel like the more aligned we are and everything starts to flow in our life. And so this is how we make the bridge the gap. We focus internal. We start spending more quiet time and meditation for that next idea to show up. We have to create the space. And when we're worried and we're using our mind to overthink and come up with all these control plans of how our limited mind can think about it, we block the signal of our intuitive higher self to deliver the message of, yeah, hey, here's your next gentle, quiet step. You know, it doesn't come crashing in, which is kind of like, we crash around, but our soul is like, hey, let's just be gentle and peaceful about it. So it's so funny because we just have to create space. And the way that we do that is we play, we rest, we go spend time in nature. And it seems so counterintuitive. And you guys are like, no, we should be doing something and checking things off the list. But ultimately it's rest and play and bringing yourself back to the present moment that's going to create that the energy that's going to help to magnetically attract that next opportunity. So a little bit faster, honestly. I mean, it's going to happen no matter what, but it's like, how long do you want to linger in that in between, right? So do the work that you're being called to do internally, and the external will shift even faster. So while that was a lot and deep, and I'm sure you guys, if you're tuned in, are with me and you understand what I'm saying, I want to know, what is that internal shift that you can make right now? What can you focus on that you know will bring you a little bit more peace through this process? So what is that practice for you? All right, I think most of all, the practice of self-care is so, so important. Yes, 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 yes. Self-care is the key, and that's why I created this Shine from the Inside Oracle deck, so that you guys had a fun and beautiful and powerful tool to connect with your soul every single day, to create those consistent self-care rituals that help you develop your intuition, your self-love, your self-worth and trust. And yeah, it's easy to do. That's why I love it so much. I've been reading cards for over a decade now, and that I had to ask myself, what is my consistent self-care ritual? What is that thing that I do to bring me back home? And for me, it was cards and reading tarot. And so I thought, whoop, that was the coolest thing. I wish you guys could have seen that. Oh, it shot out like a rocket. Oh, that was so fun. Okay, so yeah, reading cards, that was the thing that brought me back home and like, oh, centered me. And so that's why I show up every week here on Woo Woo for the last like 6 years to bring you this beautiful message and wisdom. Karen says slowing down and self-care is just what I need now. Yes, Karen, slowing down. I actually wrote that in my journal yesterday. It's like, what are your intentional actions today? I wrote to slow down. And I feel like we can expand time when we bring more mindfulness into the moment. I have come in my journey, thankful for finally reaching out for support. Erica, I'm so excited, literally so proud of you and all the changes and the progress that you've made and all the hard work you've been putting into, you know, peeling away the layers that don't serve you so that you can let your light shine. All right, I've got 3 cards here. I'm so excited to dive in. If you guys are ready, say ready, give me some hearts, and we will get this party started. I just want to make sure I've seen everyone's comments. I don't want to miss anyone. Hello, Lindsay. It's so good to see you, honey. Hello, Elizabeth. All right, here we go. First card for the week. Ooh, I love this one. Perform a random act of kindness. Ooh, it's kind of bright in here today, guys. Perform a random act of kindness. So this is all about taking time to, gosh, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Don't worry about what your next move is. Worry about how can you show up and like be joyful and like make good in the world and like do good, right? So instead of worrying and wasting our time and energy on like, well, I don't know what the next step is. Well, when you don't know what this next step is, like go perform a random act of kindness. Go do something fun. Go surprise somebody. It feels good for you. It feels good for the person receiving it. It's like this win-win, and that energy right there that you feel, and think about that. Think about that for 1 second. Let me show you how powerful you are. Think about how good it feels when you surprise somebody. Think about it. Like when you're about to think about someone you've surprised with a gift or this or something, you know, like how good did it feel when you were like planning it the whole time, and then when it finally happened, that moment, and you're like, I did this thing, hello, and they are just so happy and they're like, oh my God, it feels so good, and then you feel good again, and it just doesn't stop, and it's orgasmic for both of you, and it's not creepy and weird, and it can be done every day, all the time. It's an energy that you choose to live in, and so I really feel like this is to get you back to that energy so that you feel really good about like, man, I'm feeling good right now. I'm not worried about, I don't know what the next step is, because when you're worried, the universe is like, okay, well, let me send you a couple more scenarios for you to work out that worry so that you don't clog up the fun and the flow in the future, okay? So this is saying, come back to the moment, do something that brings you joy, do something that brings somebody else joy, because then it's double joy and that feels even better. So like, think about it. What's that thing that comes to mind? Like, what's that thing you're like, I want you to think about it now. Like, I want it also to be spontaneous, but I want you to think, like, start getting your brain working of like, ooh, how can I surprise somebody? What would be that fun thing? Let me know. Let me know what you come up with. Kindness is a ripple effect. Yes, it is. It feels so good. Kindness is free. It feels good. Ugh. All right, let's see what else is next. I'm excited to see what you guys do for your random act of kindness. All right, now we're getting deep, y'all. We're going from really high, excited, pumped, blah, 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 to let's figure out the silver lining here. So turn lemons into lessons. So this is a really powerful card about searching for the silver lining, about making sure that your perspective is looking for the good. And that is also how performing a random act of kindness can help you to focus on what feels good rather than focusing on the worry. Because we get more of what we focus on, right? They say, there's that saying that what you focus on expands, right? So this is saying don't focus on the lemons. It's about going, okay, well, what good can come from this? That's the tool that I use to get through any sticky spot. Is like, oh, I'm frustrated. Oh, this was a lemon. This didn't go the way that I planned. So I have to step back and go, there's a higher perspective at play here. And if I ask myself what good can come from this, it helps me to pull back the view and see from a more broad perspective of like, okay, it isn't just about me. I'm not like, it's not because I'm not good enough. We all go to defensive like judgment, like don't judge us, you know, like please, we're still lovable, right? I didn't do anything wrong. So it's so important for us to take a step back beyond that lens and go, okay, how is everything involved and how do I play a part? But more importantly, what good came from this and how can I grow and move forward? Because all challenges are a growth for more love and more understanding. So this is a shout out to anyone who's going through something sour in their life right now, where you're like, oh, you know, and I've been like, I told you guys last week was one in 5 years I have a total breakdown, and it happened last week on the 11/11 portal. I'm like, we're just gonna let it all go. I pulled the death card that morning and I said some Isis ritual chants of, you know, calling back past life powers. Like, let's get real. Like, I do some weird things, y'all. And oh my God, it's like, ish. And there's a warning with that ritual. It's like, do not say this incantation if you're not ready. I'm like, oh, I'm always ready. Let's do it. I was out. I was out. And that's what this was, is about letting all of those lemons that maybe you're still lamenting on. Lamenting. Isn't that funny? Anyone get that? Let go and learn the lesson so that you can move forward with the wisdom that's light and free and like powerful, rather than being dragged like by the pain and the resentment and the, this isn't fair. I understand things aren't fair, but if we can learn the lesson, it makes it feel a lot better. Let's see, I just sent some happy mail to a person I barely knew and it felt so good. Oh, I love that so much. Actually, I have on my notes today to send a couple happy boxes to some people as a birthday surprise. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, let me see what else. Already know what my random act of kindness is. Flowers for a workmate who is having a tough week. Oh, that's so beautiful. Karen, thank you for sharing. I love that. All right, so lemons into lessons. I want to tune in. What's coming up for you? What's that lemon in your life? If you're like, I have a lemon in my life right now and the number one is this, like, what comes to mind? What's that lemon? Like, think about that for a minute. Like, it might be challenging and maybe you feel called to share, maybe not. Like, I always feel like when we share our vulnerable truth, that gives others permission to go, oh shoot, I'm not alone. Like, you're feeling this too. Let's talk about it. Or let's, like, you know, let's do this together, which is why I created Shine School, because I didn't want you have to go through the self-love, self-discovery, darkness journey alone of figuring out who you are and what your life purpose is and how to break free of all the fears and like, hey, just be confident. Like, I can say, hey, just be confident, but it goes so deep beyond that. And so, you know, I never wanted women to feel alone through that process, but it is the process that we must take in order to really step into our greatness and shine our light to, you know, really fulfill the purpose that we came here to do. So I'm so pumped today, guys. I feel so good. I feel so good after last week. Like, some old version of me just died and I feel reborn. It feels so good. And I hope you guys are feeling that. It might still feel a little shaky through this full moon eclipse, but just know that we are so close. It's like light is on the other side of the tunnel. We just have to say yes to that future that we've been dreaming of and let go of what is holding us back from aligning to exactly that. Losing my job was a big lemon. I left my home city and I'm trying to fill my heart. Well, I think that losing your job sounds like a blessing in disguise, and it might just take a little time for those realizations to come along. So when those opportunities show up, like, wow, if I still had my job, then I wouldn't be able to like backpack in Paris, or, you know, like, we don't know what that opportunity yet that is going to come and take its place is maybe not shown up yet. So just trust. And that's what I'm talking about, that in between time. Let's not focus on like, here's what's missing, I don't like it. Let's focus on, okay, like, I don't really know. This is the best part. You can just kind of chill out and be like, I don't really know what the next step is. Like, whoa, things are changing. Like, I'm ready for something new. And we can just like bring ourselves to live life and like perform a random act of kindness. Like, go to nature and take a walk, you know, take a nap, and really just give ourselves the time to process. We're always like, go, 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 hustle, 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 and that's not healthy. All right, last card. Are you guys ready for this? And are you loving this week's message? Wow, what a powerful one. This is something we practice at the Goddess Retreat. So if you're like, I am ready for healing, change, like that Isis ritual, like, if you're not ready, just don't come, okay? But if you're ready for healing and transformation, this card inspired one of the exercises that we do at the Goddess Retreat. It is absolutely so powerful. Okay, so remove the limiting labels that you're wearing. This is such a powerful concept, because I realize that we're only as strong as our self-talk. And if our self-talk is limiting and we have these negative labels that say, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not whatever enough, and these limiting labels are the things that we walk into a room with we're not yelling like, hey, I think I'm stupid, when we walk into a room of strangers, but we walk in with that energy and that that weight and that label holding us down, and that's the way that we present ourselves. And it just doesn't feel good living behind heavy labels. And what I realized is that I was giving myself all those labels. Although maybe some people had suggested them to me, it was ultimately my responsibility and my acceptance of those labels, and said, okay, sure, call me that, call me a bitch, call me fat, call me those things. Okay, sure, I'll be that. And I carried those for decades, and it didn't feel good. And the work that I do, not only in my coaching program, but specifically in Shine School and hell, the goddess retreats, like, it's all healing the soul work so that we can just feel liberated and free and fully in love with ourselves, which is possible. Like, it's totally possible to be peaceful and loving and still have crazy chaos go down in your life, but just like get right back on it and not be like down for the count for way longer than necessary, or resulting to like pharmaceuticals or other means of, you know, like trying to fix something, when we really just need to spend some time with ourselves and really get clear, what is our mind doing? How are we treating our body? And are we creating quiet space and sacred space for our soul connection? And so this card really is a call for you to take an assessment of the internal dialogue that you have going on with yourself. And if she's speaking to you in a negative way, it's your turn to go, nah, I don't like that. We're done with that. Cancel. That's my trick. Cancel. And then I replace it and reframe it with something more positive. So one of the lessons that, or one of the exercises that we do, we move through each chakra in the workshops at the goddess retreat. And when we get to that solar plexus chakra, where we, you know, it's our courage and our willpower to express our creative self into the world, you know, those labels hold us back from fully shining and fully feeling empowered. So if you've been called a bitch or stupid, you're not gonna like walk into an interview and be like, I'm the best, I'm the badass here, like I'm the best. No, you're gonna walk in with those labels of like, oh, they told me I wasn't good enough, like they think I'm fat, and so like they're gonna judge me. And that's the energy that you bring, whether you realize that or not. And so we go through this exercise of removing all those negative labels that hold you back unconsciously and consciously, because you know you're saying them. But what you don't realize is that they can hear that, they can feel that, they can perceive that. Especially if you're going anywhere where they're in tune, you know, if you come into a room with someone like me, I can smell it, you know, I can see it in your aura. And so, and you see it in your body language too. We're all intuitive. We're all intuitive. It's just how aware, how much have you worked out that psychic muscle? And that's really what this is just being aware of the energy, the aura, the presence. And when you don't love yourself, you walk in like this. You're like, oh God, please don't judge me, don't look at me. And you're like kind of quiet and kind of small, like you're held back by the labels. But when you don't give a shit about what people think of you, and you know who you are, and you're confident in yourself, you just walk in and you're like, hey, what's up? Like, are we at the right fit? Is this gonna work? No? Okay, cool, that's no big deal. Or, oh, hey, yeah, this feels really good. I think this is gonna work, let's do this. You know, it really can be that simple, but we make it so hard. We make it so hard, we overthink, and we're like, oh my God, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna judge us? Whew. The only judgment that matters is the judgment that you give yourself. And when you love yourself, you are free from judgment, and all other people's criticisms, yeah, you know, I've shared this many times before, but Chris has said, if you're not paying me or fucking me, then your opinion doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So really think about that. Your opinion about you matters the most. And if it's negative, then it's your job to make that change. So no one knows us better than ourselves. Exactly, so relevant. Know your value. You guys are amazing. So, all right, let's see what card resonated with you this week. We've got perform a random act of kindness. This is getting back into the present moment, doing something that feels good for you, feels good for others. It sparks that like magical, like, ooh, you know, giving and receiving kind of thing. Like it just gets the ball rolling of good energy. Is it turn lemons into lessons? Are you feeling like there's some heaviness or a dark cloud in your life that you are trying to discover what that lesson is and use that as fuel to move forward, and you're just sick of suffering and you're like, I'm done. Like, how can I just like let this go and move forward? Or are you feeling like you are your own worst enemy and it's time to stop giving yourself that those negative labels and talking so mean to yourself? Where are you guys at? Let me know which card resonated with you. And if you know a soul sister who would love this message, please share this, tag it, screenshot it, like it, save it, whatever you gotta do. Work it, you guys know what I'm talking about. Whatever you gotta do to spread the good vibes. I appreciate all of your love and support. Self-love and acceptance go together. I mean, self-love is acceptance, right? I mean, it's the exact same thing, just two different words, right? Any other thoughts, questions, or ideas? Ashley said lemons into lessons is what's resonating with her this week. Well, thank you for sharing. Just know that there is something beautiful on the other side of those challenges, but when we can ask what good can come from this, it helps us to move through that growth a little bit more gracefully, right? All right, any other thoughts, ideas, questions? Please be on the lookout. The Goddess Retreat details will be coming soon. I highly recommend you jump on the wait list so that you're the first to know. Plus, you'll get an awesome $500 bonus if you sign up to come join us at the Goddess Retreat and you're on the wait list. Of course, all the OG goddesses will get the email right before you guys so that they get first dibs. That's just like, you know, that's just how we roll around here. So I'll let them know this week, and then next week you guys, or maybe even, I don't know, tomorrow's the full moon. Well, Friday's the full moon. I kind of feel like full moon announcement. What do you guys think? Full moon announcement? I think that could be super fun. So be on the lookout. If you're not on my email list, then again, send me a message and I will get you that link to join the wait list. Okay, yeah, just shoot me a DM that says wait list. Okay, I love asking questions to you. Any advice for Aries moon for this powerful full moon? Yes, Fire Girl. I was thinking, actually, I was like, Aries full moon. I was like, nope, we are in Taurus. We're not quite there yet. So this is gonna be really important for you to ground your energy so that you don't just go up in flames, because a lot is gonna be transforming for you to step into leadership. This is gonna be important for you to, like be a little bit more practical with like, what is the real truth? That's the message that's coming through for you, is like, what is true? What is true? What is really true is seeking out the truth, the real truth. And nothing but the truth. You are so welcome. I'm removing labels for sure. This reading was spot on. Booyah, booyah. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. This has been so fun pulling some cards from the Shine from the Inside Oracle. If you don't have a copy of this deck yet, y'all, it's almost Christmas time. Gift yourself this incredible self-care tool. This will help you to stay consistent with your self-care rituals, to connect you with your soul, to help you develop your intuition and find peace within so that you can deal with the chaos outside. Oh my God, chills, leadership. Yes, working on believing myself being a leader. Okay, Erica, I feel like you're in the Elevated Life Club already, but if you are not, we talked about influence this month. We talked about what it takes to step into leadership and how you can actually use your communication to be able to make a difference and persuade and influence and do it in a positive way that's good for all involved, not in a skeezy way, which Chris at the beginning of the masterclass, like, we keep it real, right? Chris like straight up is like, all right, everything we're about to teach you can absolutely be used for terrible things and bad things and manipulation. And I look over at Chris and I'm like, whoa, bro, we're like elevated. We don't do that around here. And he's like, no, I know, but I just want to let you all know, like, these are powerful things. And I even told Chris, he always asks like, okay, what do you want to contribute? What are your thoughts on that? And influence to me, I immediately thought was, well, tell me exactly what to say. What are the phrases? Don't just give me the concept behind it, that you can use NLP to use language to like help people understand better and, you know, all the things. Give me the language, tell me the phrases. And so in the workbook, there's actually 5 power phrases that you can use to influence anybody and anything in a way that feels good for both, where you guys, you know, can make it work out, right? So if you're really being called to step into leadership and you need the tools and the confidence and that support to be able to you know, break free of the chains that are like holding you back, then this is that moment. Sign up for the Elevated Life, come join us. We'll help elevate your mindset so that you feel confident in pursuing your purpose and making a difference in the world. I wish I had been on earlier for the reading, but thank you for holding space for us, Rebecca. This one was so powerful for the full moon, so be sure to check it back. Hi, Lisa. So good. I just love your energy, Kayla says. Forever inspired. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Kayla. All right, anything else? You're welcome, Erica. Hello, Tony. You guys are so awesome. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all the magic for woo-woo today. Just ordered my tarot cards finally. Yes, I love love it. So if you are someone who's like, I'm curious, it's cool, they're pretty, like I kind of want to order some, but I don't even know what to do with them. I've got 2 recommendations. First, just order the Oracle. Start with the Oracle, because in the guidebook, I teach you everything from shuffling. It's like the beginner's guide to how to get started, how to shuffle, how to storm, how to ask questions, how to journal, and how to use them and integrate them in your daily life with fun and ease. And then beyond that, I have Oracle 101 and Tarot 101, which is my online program to teach you all the secrets and all the tactics that I know about using Tarot or Oracle. So if you're someone who's like, I'm really serious about getting started on that journey and I'm ready to pursue some more knowledge, because that's what this is. It's about gaining higher knowledge and understanding higher concepts. And there's a system for that. And it's not just like willy-nilly, like, oh, I'll just figure it out and follow some shit, you know? There actually is a system, and I share what that is from my perspective if you're looking to take that journey with me. So Tarot 101, Oracle 101, I've got those programs for you online. Just message me if you're like, I don't know. You can find everything at brittanycarmichael.com. But I just am so excited to be able to share all of the wisdom, the love, the sparkle magic, and I cannot wait to share the next goddess retreat with you guys. It's just, I keep asking, like, how can I make it better and how can I make it better? So I'm gonna share this. Nobody knows this yet. You guys, since you're live with me, you guys will be the first to know. I decided this year, because for next year's goddess retreat in Colorado, we're at 10,000 feet. Like the cabin that we are at on the ski resort sits at 10,000 square feet. So a lot of the women were like, whoa, altitude sickness, bro, like this is a lot. And so I'm like, how can I help? How can I help? How can I make it just the most amazing, luxurious experience? And so I came up with the idea. We're gonna do an oxygen bar. We're gonna have the freaking IV drips, the vitamin C, all the things, right? So I'm always thinking about how can I up level, how can I make it better? And I hope that you guys find some inspiration in, you know, knowing that you can create anything you could ever dream of. Like creating the goddess retreat is like my childhood dream. I used to gather all my toys in the backyard and set them up in a line, and my dad would come out and he would say, what are you doing, babe? And I was like 3 years old saying, I'm having a party. I'm having a party. I love bringing people together and creating a sacred space where you feel loved, you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel empowered, and you feel inspired to say, you know what? Like there are actually people who think like me, who want to make a difference, who want to follow their creative dreams and that are weird, and I like that, and I want to be around those people. And so I created that container, not only in the Shine Tribe Sisterhood online, but at the Goddess Retreat, so that women could feel empowered and be around other like-minded souls who are on a mission to do the same thing. But in a different way, right? We're not all like trying to be hairdressers or whatever, but we are all trying to inspire, empower, and heal and make a difference. And whatever our unique creative expression is, we will figure that out together in the work that we do. Vitamin C from lemons. Look, see, we're gonna turn the lemons into nature's healing, right? Oh my gosh, Tony, I'd love to see you at a goddess retreat again. I had so much fun with you. You are totally an OG. Need to do that with you. Yes, queen. Let's do it. I think it would be so fun. Okay, I think that's it. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing full moon this weekend on Friday. It's gonna be a powerful shift. This eclipse is activating the first door of the eclipse portal, because they always come like in pairs or triplets or whatever. So this is the first one, and it'll kick off through 2022. So expect to see massive changes, and you'll be stepping through that door in that chapter over the next 6 months. So it's not gonna be like overnight, right? That's the tagline of Shine School. Self-love does not happen overnight, right? So we have to have the tools to be able to work through that process and have the patience. Patience, I know, everyone cringed, but that's what makes it, patience shows a sign of self-love and self-trust, so it's a good thing. All right, y'all, I love you so much. If you know someone who would love this message, tag them below, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.